Welcome back, everyone. We wanted to come on here and show you our new holster. It's actually the new Vanquish holster by Precision Holsters, and we have been carrying Precision holsters for multiple years now and had zero problems. So when we saw that they released this new style of the holster we currently or have been using until we got this, we figured we'd give it a try. So we did get these in about 2 weeks ago, just over 2 weeks ago. This one here is for the 365 and the 365 XL. We actually carry the small 365 grip module using the Wilson module and the fuse slide, and it fits in here as well. And we also got the one for the Glock 19, which we're currently wearing, and it is tucked in, so you can't really see that. You can't notice that I have it. So let me untuck here and show you that in fact I do have a Glock 19 with an RMR in the same exact holster that I'm holding, except it's made for that different pistol. So let's go over some of the key features that this holster has that I really like and I appreciate, and some of the downfalls or cons, if you will, because nothing is perfect. So the first thing is the torsion claw or wing, whatever you guys want to call that. And this, believe it or not, is made of aluminum. So it's not plastic. Sometimes the plastic ones, first, they're bulky on traditional holsters, but the plastic also on the traditional ones, they start to flex with your body heat, and depending on how hot the weather or humid the weather is around you. So this claw is not going to flex on you during your day because it's made of aluminum. So that's really nice. And what that does is once it's in your pants, it keeps the gun flush to your body, very tight to your body. As you can see there, that is a Glock 19 again, and it's riding right up against my abdomen area. Very, very comfortable, and it does a very nice job keeping that gun tight to you. Also, the claw is adjustable, so you can put it a little bit higher, a little bit lower, according to how you wish to carry that. So very, very neat there. Also, the ergonomic pad here. And what I mean by ergonomic is that this is super well rounded off on all edges, and it's made of plastic, so you don't really feel it's there. I do have this Glock 19 in there, and I do not feel any discomfort in my ab or, high leg area, thigh area, if you will. So very comfortable there. What that also does is it works hand in hand with the claw to keep that gun canted more towards your body. And this is typically what prints more on your gun. Also, this is adjustable. It comes, let me show you here. It comes with a few different sizes, 3 to be precise. It comes with large, medium, and small. So it comes in a little bag, and you got the extra pads in there, depending on your body type. And it's also adjustable by using these little spacers, or little washers, if you will. You could actually add more spacers between the actual pad itself and the holster to make this sit further away to give you more of a cant towards your body. So that's up to you. I left it as is. I found no problems. I think that it works very well right out of the box. Also, it is made of plastic. I did say that. So a lot of people, including myself, when I saw it on their website, I figured that this would be very uncomfortable, and I was kind of hesitant on getting the holsters or not, because I have no problem with the current design. However, I'm very glad that I took the gamble on it, because in fact it is super, super comfortable. Also, the design is, as you can see, minimalist. Very, very small design, very low profile. The wing isn't sticking out of the holster front to back or from the sides. It's very flush with the holster. The pad itself, you can see right there, it's nothing drastic. On a traditional holster, they typically stick out and add a lot of bulk, and you do feel that when you're wearing the holster. So I really, really like the minimalist design. If I could show you wherever I put it, here it is. This is their traditional design. So it's basically the same holster, just without all the features. If you see the holster, and this is for a Glock 48, by the way. So the holster itself, because the gun is a different shape, is a little bit bigger. But the actual design is exactly the same. It's not any thicker. It's not any longer, really. It's basically the same profile. Low profile with a lot more features in it. So very, very cool that they were able to match this design by adding all of the features that this design has without making it a huge holster. So I really like that. You could also adjust these clips. So the clips are pretty unique in the sense that you can tuck it. As you saw before, I did have my shirt tucked in, and this holster is being worn. So let me show you that there. And even though they're tuckable clips, they're very flush to the Kydex. Going back to the traditional holster, notice how the clips do not stick out any further, which is pretty cool, right? You still get the same quality clips, right? The durability and stability that you would need when the holster is in your waistband. So I really like that feature there. These again are not tuckable on the traditional design. This clip does have that capability, but this one does not. So very neat there. Another thing about the clips is that they are adjustable. Not everyone is going to carry in the same way. So if you want to have your gun canted this way or vice versa, or just keep it straight, that's going to be up to you. You could also raise both clips or lower both clips so that your holster sits lower in the belt line or higher in the belt line. That'll be also up to you. So very cool. On the traditional one, you don't have that option. As you can see, there are no adjustment options. It is what it is, and it is a great design, by the way. This just improves on this slightly there. Some extra benefits, of course, I've mentioned already the spacers. The spacers were a huge benefit. They come in the little bag here. Again, you could use the spacers either for the pad, you could use them for the retention on the holster itself, which is another huge benefit. You do have 4 screws that you can use for retention. So if you want to have even retention throughout the whole entire holster, you can do that. Or if you want to have less retention on the front or the back or at the top or the bottom, you could also customize that. So this holster is extremely customizable there as well. And of course, with those spacers, you could add extra ones if you want. The spacers are also good, like I said before, for the claw or the clips or the pad. You can use that those spacers however you wish. Also, the price, you can't beat this holster for the price. I think the original one is like 60 something plus shipping and handling, whatever. This guy is under $80 plus the shipping and handling. So let's just throw a high number out there, $90 out the door. I think it was a little less than that, but let's just throw that higher number. You're not going to beat it. There are a lot of traditional holsters out there that have all of these features, but the holster is a lot larger, both this way because of the claws or a side caddy, whatever you know, the extra plastic and stuff for your magazine carriers. Also, they're a little bit wider because of that pad if they have it. So this holster, you're getting a whole lot of features in a very small compact profile. Very comfortable to wear, by the way. The other cool thing about this holster, which the original holster has, is the way that the clips are actually added to the Kydex. They're on a unique angle that when you put the holster in your pants, it helps, even without all the features that this has, it helps keep the gun canted towards your body. So it's a very unique angle that they used there, and they did keep that angle here. So very neat there. Nothing's perfect, unfortunately. So the one con that I'm going to say that's not a con for me specifically, but might be for the majority of the people out there, is it's not light bearing, not yet anyways. So this holster does not come with the option for you to carry with a light. Another thing is that you probably won't find this in many local stores. We're out here in Connecticut and we have never seen in any of the stores here, and we know most of them, we've never seen this company in the stores. So if you actually want to try the holster on and see how it fits, you're not going to have that opportunity. So that's why I'm making this video. I think these guys are, I don't want to say underrated, I just don't think a lot of people know about these guys, or this holster specifically, right, this design. So I do want to make this video to let you know that I highly recommend it. Another con, if you will, this is one that I kind of wish they did something about this. The holsters, they look very similar. I mean, I could take this holster off, it's going to look exactly the same, maybe a little bit bigger because it's for a different gun. But if you actually hold them like this, or you have them all in a drawer of holsters, which we all have bins and drawers full of holsters, they look too much alike to each other. And they're not marked for which gun they are for. So for me, what I like to do is I grab a little Sharpie and I try to write what that holster is for, so what gun it's for, in an area where it won't be riding up against my body. So for example, hopefully you could see it, not sure, I did put 365 on there. This one, what I ended up doing was I actually grabbed my knife and I kind of scuffed it up a little bit and I put a 48 there. So that's just saying it's for my Glock 48. And of course I do that with all my other holsters. But if they can somehow do that, even if they grab a little Sharpie, right? Just grab a little Sharpie and do it for me. Because sometimes I forget, and that's when I'm trying out the gun, different guns with different holsters to see what is for what. So I'm nitpicking, but that would be nice. I'm not asking, or saying that they should be doing a hardcore, engraving into the plastic that costs, you know, more money because it's more time consuming or whatever. Just a little Sharpie, you know, put what the gun's for or what the holster is for, and that's it. That would be great. And another con is that they don't make this holster yet for every gun that's on the market. So the current list of guns that I have seen on their website as of now, as of today, that they produce this holster for would be your P365 line. So the 365, the XL, and the Macro. Again, I use it. If I have the, let me see if I brought the pistol. I did. I use, when I carry the 365, I carry the small grip module with the fuse slide. The only thing is that it will stick out just under an inch or just about an inch. Not a big deal. It works just fine, right? So it does work for the 365 XL and Macro. They also make it for the G43, 43X, the 19, and the 48. Now, if you're going to get a holster or one of these holsters for a Glock 43, you might as well go for the 48 because the holster will be slightly longer and you will have more material sitting below the belt line. What that does is it allows the gun to ride up against your body more below the belt line, pushing this part of the gun towards you a little bit more than something that is or has less material underneath the belt line. Less material beneath the belt line will allow the pistol to flop out more, if you will. So I'm forcing it so you guys can see. So if you get a Glock 26, for example, which we also have, we use, so here's our Glock 26. We actually put the Glock 26 in our Glock 19 holster. And yeah, the Glock 26 probably ends here and the holster ends here, but it keeps the gun tighter to my body. So you got options there. My recommendation is if you're getting a 43 holster for a 43 or a 26, get the 19 holster for the 26 and the 48 for the 43X. Professional opinion there. Also, they make it for the Hellcat and the Hellcat Pro. All right. So if you have one of those guns, you're in luck. They make this holster for it. Those are one of the most popular carry guns, right? The SIGs, the Glocks, Springfields. Smith & Wesson, I'm not sure if they're making them yet. I did not remember seeing the shield on there. And if they do, it's not for the 4-inch. So if you have a 4-inch shield, you might have to stay tuned and see if they come out, you know, with something there. Glock 26 untucked. Glock 19 with an RMR, untucked. P365 with a fuse slide and a Romeo X Siglock, untucked. Glock 26 with an EPS carry, tucked in. All right. Glock 19 with an RMR tucked in. P365 with the Romeo X Siglock tucked in. Our final thoughts are that we highly recommend this holster. We really appreciate you guys stopping by. We hope this has helped you. And please follow us on Instagram and Facebook at CT Pistol Class. Thank you very much. See you next time and stay safe.